It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. My name's Matt. This is what's left of my birthday cake. I just turned 40. And today I'm going to show you a day in the life of an actual, real, full-time day trader with a family. Excuse me. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. Not a lot of trading yet, is there? I told you it was a day in the life. Don't worry, we're getting to that. Cat. It's not appropriate. You might wonder why hers is a different color. I messed up and made it with the wrong stuff, so I redid hers. Oops. I handle breakfast in the morning brush and my wife handles dinner. Almost made it down to the office. Got a call from one of the kids needs some help with their homework, so we're going to try and do that quickly and get to work. Okay, so we're a bit late today with all the stuff that went on this morning, helping the kids with school and all that. They're supposed to go back to school on Monday. This is Thursday. We missed the open, but that's not the end of the world. That happens more often than I'd like when you've got a family. It's actually not so bad because really, to take a trade right at the open is not all that smart. So we're going to take a look. I've done most of my homework from last night, so I have all my important levels except for just a couple. I'm going to double check what the high and low of the Globex was. If it has gone higher or lower than it did last night when I did my homework, I'll update that. So we're going to open up the charts and see what it looks like. So I've had a look at my charts and I did have to update the Globex low because it went lower than it was at last night when I was there. Fortunately, we didn't miss much since the open. It's just been kind of in a range. So we're going to have a look and see what we can find here. And I forgot to get a water, so I'm going to go get one. I want to keep hydrated. It's good for you. So we're just coming in here. It's about 10:30. 50 is right here, 38.50. Now yesterday it hit all-time highs. Come up here to 38.60. Here's 57. The open is right, which we missed, of course, is right here. So it's come down. Kind of hit a floor here, and it's got fairly convincing momentum on the way up here. Now this is again 50, so I love to trade around 50s. I like to short a 50 once it goes up through it a little bit and stops going up, which is kind of what's happening right now. Okay, so we've come up and we're unable to hit 55, just broke through 50. So I would say we might be looking at coming back to here now. I'm going to try a short right here, our stop. That's okay right where it is. Talk about candlestick patterns. I do pay some attention to that, but really when you're day trading, like we're essentially scalping here. Beyond the actual candle patterns, there are little patterns of behavior within an individual candle that you'll begin to recognize and that I pay a lot of attention to. One of those things just happened on this one. It shot up really quickly and then poof, it just came straight back down. And not only did it come down quickly, it skipped prices in between. This is a particularly unpleasant time of the trade when price comes back to your entry after being in profit a couple of points, and you're like, maybe I should have just taken that. Sometimes you should have. I think it's worth hanging on here for a little bit, but if it comes back down and doesn't break this, I'm going to punch out for whatever I can get. You ideally don't want to take a win that is less than your risk on the trade because that will skew your risk to reward. However, there are some times if you're convinced that price is going the other way and you have good reason for that, take what you can get. Another reason I'm holding in this trade is because of some of my homework that I did last night. Yesterday's closing price is right here. It's 38.40. So we're looking at a move towards that. You'll often see the next day's if price opens up higher or winds up higher, it will come back and touch that close. Now, it already did that. Previous days highs and lows. Sometimes previous day open also. It likes to come back and tag those, sometimes multiple times. Okay, we're getting some action here. 3 points in, break even's getting triggered. See if we can get down. That's close enough for me. See if we can get it. And a punch out. There. Now this may keep on going, but I waited so long for that, I just wanted to get out. When you see a quick spike down like that, oftentimes you get a quick suck back also, which is happening here. So we got 3 1/4 points. We risked 1 3/4 points. So that's okay. We've got 16.25 points because we're 5 positions. 16.25 times $50 is $812.50. That's enough for me today. I'm okay with that, especially since I'm making this video and I've got other stuff I have to do today. So I'm going to keep an eye on the market, but I may well not take another trade because that's enough. I'm in Canada, so take that times even 1.25. It's $1,000. I'm fine with that. I don't need more than that. So a question you might have that would say, well, how much would you have to have in order to take that trade? 5 contracts with a 2-point stop loss. At that point, if you lose, you're going to lose $500. In order to do that, to take that trade, you should have 25,000 in your account. Ideally, you would have 50. Super ideally, you'd have 100, but a bare minimum of 25,000 to take that trade. Now, truth be told, I don't have 25,000 in my trading account. Now, I'm a Canadian, and there are Canadian futures brokers, but their commissions are extremely expensive, and they don't work with the platform I like. I have a U.S. broker. I keep $10,000 in my trading account. That's it. The reason for that is, in Canada, our brokers are protected by a deposit insurance. So if the broker goes bust, I can still get my money back. The government guarantees it. It's not like that in the U.S., as you probably know. If my broker happens to go bust, and I have all my money in there, I lose all my money, or go without it for a long time in order to get some of it back. So I keep $10,000 in there. The day trade margins are $500 per contract of the S&P E-mini. This trade only costs me $2,500 in margin, so I'm still in excess of that by $7,500. So it just leave enough in there for them to let me take the trade. Then I'll take the profits out each month, bring it back to that $10,000. So I just come outside for a little break and a little reflection on the day. Am I pleased with my results today? Not really. A little better than a scratch day, but a lot better than a loss. But you know what? If this is a day in the life, it may as well be a just sort of okay day as opposed to some sort of blowout once every 6-month day. I didn't even go back into the market this afternoon. I went up and spent some time with my wife and the kids and helped them with their school. That's important too. Had today been a trend day, I would have had my door locked and I'd be trading all day. And those days, you might get one a month. If you're lucky to catch it, it will make your entire month. A day like today, kind of a range bound, not so sure what to do day. You can take it or leave it. You can trade it or not trade it, or you can just go in and get what you can and get out. And that's what I did today. So on my walk in the backyard, I realized we got a little more snow than I thought, which is good because the kids really want to go snowmobiling, but also not good because now I have to snowblow. It's going to be getting dark soon. And then of course we have to go downstairs and do our homework because as you've seen, I don't have time to do it in the morning. There you go. Out at the store for milk now. It's the worst thing about these masks. So it's actually fairly late at night now. My wife and kids have all gone to bed, and I'm back in the office. And what I'm going to do now is go over the charts and see what happened after I left the market today. I'm going to go through all the instruments that I like to trade and look at. I traded the E-mini S&P today, but that's not all that I trade. I do also look at gold and oil, sometimes treasuries, sometimes the Dow. Not too often the grains. I used to trade soybeans. Don't do that much anymore. And the odd time I'll take a trade on heating oil or unleaded even. But for the most part, I'm going to go through my charts for the S&P, oil, gold, and the Dow. And I'm going to mark down the opening, the closing, the high and the low, of the day session for all of those. And I'm also going to go through all my charts, and I'm going to look at what I would call turning points, spots that price stops and resists before it goes up or down. I make a little spreadsheet and I update it each day with the levels for each of those things. And I also journal my trades. And sometimes I'll do that while I'm trading. Sometimes I'll do it at the end of the day. I only had one trade today, so that's pretty easy. Some days there's a lot more than that. Anyway, the main thing is before I go to bed for the night, I want to clean everything up, clean up whatever mess or clean up whatever record keeping I need to do for the previous day. And I also want to be ready for the next morning. As far as my charting goes, and I'll show that another time, I do all my charting on TradingView. I love that because I can save all my layouts. I've got 4 charts per layout you can see here. This is all my energies. This is my financials, like the treasuries and each of the stock indexes. This is all Dow, different time frames of the Dow. This is the S&P, different time frames of that. Up here are my technicals, like advanced decline, ticks, that sort of thing. Over there I have crude oil. Below it I have gold. And then in this main window here is where I keep my tick chart open of whatever instrument I'm trading at that given time. I will generally only have one trade on at a time, sometimes 2, but usually 1. And it's a lot easier to just have one instrument open with the DOM. But there's the odd time I will have 2, but for the most part I just take one trade at a time. I'm not in them for very long. Today was probably a half an hour in the trade, and that's longer than usual. So I'm going to spend that time now while the house is quiet and I have no distractions. The only thing I will do when I come down is just double check my highs and lows for the Globex session, meaning the overnight session. And if there's any difference there, I'll update that. So I think we've probably dispelled a few myths today. You didn't see any beaches. I don't live on a beach or work on said beach. You saw me snowblow my driveway. No Lamborghinis in the shot either because I don't have any. Though we do have the cars, lots of toys, beautiful home, and really more importantly, a great work-life balance. In my old life, I owned a funeral home, so I was used to being on call 24/7, and I gradually transitioned into trading and then eventually went full-time. Being able to be home with my family and being able to have the free time to spend on other things is everything in the world. It's not easy, but it certainly is doable, and for me, it's the perfect way to make a living. So I hope you got some value out of this video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more. There's not much up there yet, but I'm going to make this a regular thing. There should be a new video at least once a week. Check down the description. I'll put a link to TradingView if you want to check out what those charts are like. Also, I've decided to start a newsletter. It won't be something that's going to flood your email box. It's going to be maybe once a week, and I'm going to try and put some useful information in there, some valuable tips, and maybe some of my key levels that I look at. But thanks again for watching, and have a great day.